Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the fabulous Feinstein's 54 Below. Now, everyone, please welcome returning to the stage, Melissa Errico.
Give me somebody to dance for. Give me somebody to show. Let me wake up in the morning to find I have somewhere exciting to go. Where did I want to go? Manhattan. To have something that I can believe in, to have someone to be. Use me, choose me. God, I'm a dancer dances. On my brother's wall, it was Farrah Fawcett. On my wall, it was Donna McKechnie. Give me somebody to dance with. Give me a place to fit in. Help me return to the world of the living by showing me how to begin. Play me the music. Give me the chance to come through. All I ever needed was the music and the mirror and the chance to sing for you. Hello, Feinstein's 54. Welcome to my New York. My musical island. And the mayor of that island, my piano man, my soul man, my friend, Ted Firth. My New York began here. March 23rd, 1983. Everywhere I turn, I see people with legs like Cassie, in character shoes, tap shoes, steps on 74th, Broadway Dance Center, 1515 Broadway, and on my walls in Manhasset, Long Island, which are covered in dance posters, and my deep bottom desk drawer is so full of playbills and programs that it hardly closes. I open it all the time and turn the pages. Barnum. Me and my girl, noises off, a chorus line. Oh, a chorus line. I don't think I would have a life without that show. I'm watching Cisco Pit-a-Pat. My cast albums are always on vinyls, and Ain't Misbehavin' is propped on my shelf facing me, so I can think about it night and day. That is, when I'm not thinking about On Your Toes, that Rodgers and Hart musical at the Virginia Theater on 52nd Street, where my life changed when the curtain went up on my 12th birthday. See the pretty apple, top of the tree. The higher up, the sweeter it grows. Picking fruit, you've got to be up on your toes. See the pretty penthouse, top of the roof. The higher up, the higher rent goes. Get that dough, don't be a goof. Up on your toes, they climb the clouds to come through with airmail. The dancing crowds look up to some rare mail, like that a stair mail. See the pretty lady, top of the crop. You wanna know the way the wind blows? Then, my boy, you'd better hop up on your toes, up on your toes. When the curtain went up, yes, at 12 years old, I suddenly understood my life. Weeping passionately, I said to my mother, "Who are those people?" This is a true story. "Who are those people? How did they get up there?" Up there on a New York stage. I spent the rest of my life finding out. They climb the clouds to come through with airmail. The dancing crowds look up to some rare mail, like that a stair mail. See the pretty lady, top of the crop. You wanna know the way the wind blows? Then, my boy, you'd better hop up on your toes, up on your toes. Thank you. I'm not going to sing all the cliches of the starstruck New Yorker, but I guess I am going to be the biggest cliche of the hyper girl who came to New York dreaming of being on Broadway. That's the only cliche, I promise. Now, here I am on your screens, or here I am not on your screens. Here I am not on your screens, there I am on your screens. This is me learning to walk in Washington Square Park. I was wearing a fashionable jacket, which my mother got in a fancy box. Just today I asked her from where, and she said it was given to me by my Aunt Rose, more on her to come, and it was from Bonwit Teller, which Mom says was a nice shop. So then we later moved to Long Island, so more on all of that. Before I go on, can I just say, it is so good to be here. Oh my God. I gotta, before, it is so good to be here. 2 weeks ago, when Ted and I first did this show, it was my first time on a nightclub stage in New York City in 2 years. Oh my gosh, thank you. So we were live streaming around the world. We were live streaming to Melbourne, and we had people in London and Scotland and Los Angeles and Cleveland. But tonight, it is just us. It is just us, New Yorkers. Now, haven't we lived through the weirdest time in New York history? We have shared, and we are sharing the strangest years. Everything that excites us about New York City seemed to be in suspended animation. All of the cliches that define the city temporarily vanished. I mean, gosh, we would have to rewrite all of our favorite songs. And I mean, what would Larry Hart have written about New York last year? I wonder. We've lost Manhattan, and there went Staten Island too, locked down like creatures in the zoo. No workout bodies, now just your antibodies count. Show me Moderna proof, or else we stay aloof, head to hoof. And when I'm grouchy, I'll holler, Fauci, are we done? For he's of Bensonhurst, a son. That's true, he comes from Brooklyn. The great big city can be a spree if you're covered with PPE. We lost Manhattan, and now we're lost at sea. Or what if Cole Porter had to write about his New York now? What happened to my New York? What happened to my hometown? I like the city air, but have to go masked in it. This card shows the shots I've had whenever I'm asked for it. I miss the sights and sounds and even the stink of it. I have to prove that I'm well whenever I drink in it. I had to drain my battery dry since Zoom was all I had to watch a show. I often ask myself, why should it be the French are not allowed to cross the sea? I'm sure they all will ask with me, me what happened to our New York. Or Candor and Ebb writing about our New York billionaires who ran away to their country places. Stop spreading the bug. I'm leaving today. Hello, my Hamptons hideaway. Farewell, New York. It's safer upstate than tight in Times Square. I need my social distancing. Goodbye, New York. I want to wake up in a village that's sound asleep, while burrowed deep in a hill covered with sheep. These little town blues are greener today. I'll make a safe new start of it. Farewell, New York. The billionaires are gone like the Decameron. That's a very classy reference. Boccaccio in 1439 wrote about all the millionaires fleeing Florence in the Black Plague. They said farewell, New York, New York. I have to thank Adam Gopnik for writing those lyrics. Adam Gopnik, our favorite writer from the New Yorker magazine, who between winning the Légion d'honneur a few weeks ago and writing amazing novels, and right now working on this huge essay on, what was it? On the new varieties of fascism. Thank you for finding time to write my parodies. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Adam Gopnik. For me, New York City has always been like a Rubik's Cube that I just keep turning and turning, trying to get it right. Or like the Guggenheim Museum that is so interesting in both directions, and you really never know what level you're on. True, someone said. Thank you. I like people who agree with me this evening. June 2nd, 1987. New York City isn't far from here. I go every day, almost every day actually, and I sit on the Long Island Railroad while my feet keep practicing steps. My feet never stop practicing. My feet never stop tap dancing. The L-I-R-R is my Ariadne's thread, and I follow it. Another 100 people just got off of the train and came up through the ground, while another 100 people just got off of the bus and are looking around at another 100 people who got off of the plane and are looking at us, who got off of the train and the plane and the bus maybe yesterday. It's a city of strangers. Some come to work, some to play. A city of strangers. Some come to stare, some to stay. And every day, the ones who stay can find each other in the crowded streets and the guarded parks, by the rusty fountains and the dusty trees with the battered barks. And they walk together past the postered walls with the crude remarks. And they meet at parties through the friends of friends who they never know. Will you pick me up or do I meet you there, or shall we let it go? Did you get my message? 'Cause I looked in vain. Can we see each other Tuesday if it doesn't rain? Look, I'll call you in the morning or my service will explain. And another 100 people just got off of the train. October 9th, 1989, Penn Station. I'm 17 years old. As usual, commuting, waiting for that famous 30 minutes. You see, if you miss the 6:50, then it's 7:20. If you miss the 7:20, then it's 7:50. I just missed the 6:50. Funny that I never want to leave. I even want that extra half an hour. It's a city of strangers. Some come to work, some to play. A city of strangers. Some come to stare, some to stay. And every day, some go away. Or they find each other in the crowded streets and the dusty parks, by the rusty fountains and the dusty trees with the battered barks. And they walk together past the postered walls with the crude remarks. And they meet at parties through the friends of friends who they never know. Will you pick me up or do I meet you there, or shall we let it go? Did you get my message? Because I looked in vain. Can we see each other Tuesday if it doesn't rain? Look, I'll call you in the morning or my service will explain. And another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. And another 100 people just got off of the train. There are always another 100 people flowing into New York and another 100 people turning back. And one or two young girls who have just fallen in love with musical theater and are going home, vowing only to return. But what we forget is that each of those 100 people is a person. And they have, well, as we say in Long Island, a poison. And they have their own history apart from the crowd. They come on the bus and train or boat. That's how my family came to New York City, on a boat from Trapani. Now, I only have time to tell you about one person off that boat, but someday I will tell you about all of them in a book. But that one person off the boat was my Aunt Rose. She began the showgirl tradition in our family. She was discovered in Child's Restaurant on 33rd Street and 7th Avenue, and she became an honest-to-God Ziegfeld Follies girl. Yes. Someone said the other night, I heard them say, is that true? It is true. It's true. Ziegfeld Follies girl, and she began her career in the Broadway production of Showboat in 1927. Why do stage-struck maidens clamor to be acting in the drama? Though it seems cruel to bust all your dreams, still I must. Here's the truth I tell you. Life upon the wicked stage ain't ever what a girl supposes. Stage door Johnnies aren't raging over you with gems and roses. When you let a fella hold your hand, which means an extra beer or sandwich, everybody whispers, ain't her life a whirl? Though you're warned against a ruin in your reputation, I have played around a one-night trade, around a great big nation. I've got virtue, but it ain't been tested. No one's even interested. Life upon the wicked stage ain't nothing for a girl, ain't nothing for a girl. Though those are words from the original Showboat, I don't think that Aunt Rose herself believed that. Here's a song from the exact same period by Dietz and Schwartz called Confession that I think Aunt Rose really would have sung. Check your screens. That's really her. Amazing. Right? I like that whistle. Let's hear that whistle again. Ooh. kissed a man before. Oh, isn't that a shame? I never kissed a man before I knew his name. I never had a taste for wine. Oh, isn't that a sin? I never had a taste for wine can't compare with gin. It's nice, as nice can be. My faith is at last restored to find that vice can be its own reward. I always go to bed at 10. Oh, isn't that a bore? I always go to bed at 10, but I go home at 4. Thank you. Okay. In she goes. In she goes. I got this from Randy Roberts. Oh! Stay. Stay. So that was my Aunt Rose's dream. Now, 70 years later, my dream came true for a time, which is the only way that New York dreams do come true, for a time. I was starring in My Fair Lady on the same stage where I saw On Your Toes. And I was living in a one-bedroom apartment with my college roommate, Rachel, who may be here tonight. Rachel? Rachel, hi! Oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. With my college roommate, Rachel. We had a one-bedroom apartment, and she was a first-tier, sort of an apprentice investment banker, and so she got the one-bedroom, and I had to live in the living room, and I had to call 1-800-suction wall. Well, we had so much fun. I was living and working. I was working a lot, and I was doing the work that I love, and I was beginning to feel that maybe there was a place for me in New York. And all this puts me in mind of a story that the great New York born and bred songwriter Laura Nyro tells of singing doo-wop on street corners when she was 14. Listen, she was a middle-class Jewish girl who went to ethical culture, but she loved doo-wop and street singing. And she said, I kind of invited myself into the group. I was sitting at the top of the steps, and they were down in the train station singing. I mean, it was beautiful. And then I just started hearing this other harmony that I wanted to sing with them. And I just started singing, and they didn't ask me to leave. You hear harmonies, and you start singing, and they don't ask you to leave. That's New York. And so I started singing harmonies with everyone. I made connections everywhere I could. Gus at the Bonbonniere, who made my breakfast, Rob at Colony Records, everywhere. I found ecstatic, you all know Rob. I found ecstatic harmonies in every corner of my life, an ecstatic weave. Everything was interesting to me, and I was so happy. At this time in my life, my first rule for New York living was talk to strangers. So I was in My Fair Lady, and I would come home every night, and I would come into my lobby, and I never wanted to go to bed. I never want to go to bed. And I would come in, and I would chat with all of my neighbors and the doorman, and there was a very handsome doorman. His name was Patrick. And so I would chat with everybody, but there was a little kind of chemistry, a little frisson, you're going to remember this, with one of the doorman, a uniformed guy there, you know. And so So I went upstairs in the elevator one day, and I realized that he could see me in the camera in the elevator. So I'm just thinking, So I look at the camera, and I sort of give a little smile to the door. So then a few days later, there's a knock on the door. Rachel answers the door and says, Melissa, I can't believe you're here. Melissa. And I come to the door, and there he is, a military man, a soldier at my door with his hat under one arm, and I found I was dating the doorman. Now, we just watched TV a few times, but so I was so glad then when I was cast to play Venus, that ultimate New York woman, the statue of Aphrodite in the Metropolitan Museum of Art, who's about to pop up on your screens. There she is, Venus in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. If ever there was a musical about the happy accident of connections, she wakes up in the museum and she falls in love with the barber, the first man that she sees, sort of her doorman. And she has good advice for romantic New Yorkers. Speak low when you speak love. Our summer day withers away. Too soon, too soon. Speak low when you speak love. Our moment is swift, like ships adrift, we're swept apart too soon. Speak low, darling, speak low. Love is a spark lost in the dark. Too soon, too soon. I feel wherever I go that tomorrow is here, tomorrow is near, but always too soon. Time is so old and love so brief. Love is pure gold and time a thief. We're late, darling, we're late. The curtain descends, everything ends. Too soon, too soon. I wait, darling, I wait. Will you speak low to me? Speak love to me. And soon. I wish I could drink like a lady, 2 or 3 at the most, but 2, and I'm under the table. 3, I'm under the host. That toast is attributed to the most New York of all New York women, Dorothy Parker. Oh, to have been at that Algonquin round table, and she wrote this, my favorite song. I was always one to be wishing on half-seen moons. Every night was long and gloomy. Shadows gathered in the air. No one ever listened to me. do I care? None in all the world to love me, none to count the stars that hung. Then the moon came out above me, and I saw that it was young. I wished on the moon for something I never knew. I wished on the moon for more than I ever knew. A sweeter rose, a softer sky, an April day that would not dance away. I begged of a star to throw me a beam or two. I wished on a star and asked for a dream or two. I looked for every loveliness. It all came true. I wished on the moon for you. Of a star to throw me a beam or two, wished on a star and asked for a dream or two. I looked for every loveliness. It all came true. I wished on the moon for you. That's Ted Firth. Well, there you go. So if you want to know anything about my New York, if I hadn't come to New York, I would never have met Ted Firth, and that would just be the end of everything. One of the greatest joys of my life, listening to him. It was time to get my first apartment, which brings me to Melissa's next rule for a happy life in New York. If you want something, knock on the door. I was told if you want to get an apartment in New York, this is, of course, before the internet and before we all stopped talking to each other. There was no a realtor or anything like that. The idea was you go down, I was told, find an area where you want to live and start knocking on the door. So I did just that. I went around the Upper West Side and I looked around. I went around Alphabet City. I went to Tribeca. And then I saw Gansevoort Street. And West 11th and 12th Street and Bank Street and the White Horse Tavern, and I was done. So I was knocking. I was knocking on doors. And I went around to all these different apartments, and some people answered the door. And I'd say, do you have an apartment in this building? I really like this area. And so I saw all kinds of crazy places, places with weird hallways and places to sleep and places to take your bath in the kitchen or the shower curtain just around the refrigerator, and I was like, okay, that might work. That's good. So I was about to say yes to that. And then I walked to Abingdon Square. A slice of New York, a pizza slice of New York, that delicious, beautiful little triangle on West 12th Street, and I saw 299 West 12th Street. What a building. I was like Eliza Doolittle, like, wow. It was like Wimpole Street. I was just like, I got to get in. And so I went, actually couldn't knock on the door because it had a revolving door. But I went up to the door, and I went in, and I met the doorman, Eduardo. No. Actually, I went down there recently with my 3 beautiful teenage daughters, and he still remembered me. He said, the actress, oh my God, and he's told me, oh, you used to sing a lot. No one complained then, but anyway, so I asked Eduardo, I said, is there any like really tiny places, like a mouse house here, like a studio, a closet, anything like I could afford, maybe just a little apartment? And he said, a studio, and he said, well, actually, and he looked left and right, like he didn't want to be overheard, and he said, well, actually, there is an apartment. There is a studio apartment that is empty. It belongs to a man who is missing. And I said, missing? Can I see his apartment? So he got the key from the little box thing, and we went upstairs, and we're walking around the missing man's apartment. And me, I'm like, you know me, right? And we all know each other. Well, you know me, I'm just like more interested now in the missing man than like my house or like anything. I'm just like walking around, I'm like, And I'm going in his closet, and he's got a few suits. I said, he's a banker. He goes, yes, he is a banker. And I said, doesn't have a girlfriend. So we're like going around, all this stuff. Anyway, I won't go on and on because there's a time limit to these shows. It's like trying to rush an orgasm, which I can do, but I wouldn't mind that little 15 minutes extra. But anyway, so I won't tell you the whole story, but there was all this furniture, little bits of furniture, but I'll remember there was an ottoman, and there was an ottoman with this sort of sports-like creature, I don't know, not, like a bird or something. It said Patriots. And I'll never forget that little ottoman. The day came that I had to move in and, bring all my stuff, and we had to move him out, and they're taking all his things, and I'm thinking, oh my God, where's this man? So I kept the ottoman, because I figured if he ever came back, it would be a good conversation starter. Here's your ottoman. He never came back. We never found out. There's no, terrible story. So anyway, I found the most charming West Side studio. It was the first home that I ever had, and I was very proud of it, and I used to have little Chinese slippers, by the door, and so I was always barefoot at home. And I outfitted it with all kinds of things from the Chelsea flea market. There was a Quaker meeting house bench instead of a sofa, and there was a beautiful red Art Deco kitchen table, and antique clocks that were all, that needed winding, and that as the day went on, they were all a little wrong. Boom, boom, bang, jing. And so I had to kind of go around and so I turned them and everything. And I bought magnifying glasses, fountain pens, beaded necklaces. And I lived there in love. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I heard was a song outside my window, and the traffic wrote the words. It came ringing up like Christmas bells and wrapping up like pipes and drums. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day, and we'll wear it till the night comes. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I saw was the sun through yellow curtains and a rainbow on the wall. Blue, red, green, and gold to welcome you, crimson crystal beads to beckon. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day. There's a sun show every second. Now the curtain opens on a portrait of today, and the streets are paved with passers-by, and pigeons fly and papers lie, waiting to blow away. Woke up, it was a Chelsea morning, and the first thing that I knew, there was milk and toast and honey, and a bowl of oranges too. And the sun poured in like butterscotch and stuck to all my senses. Oh, won't you stay? We'll put on the day, and we'll talk in present tenses. When the curtain closes and the rainbow runs away, I will bring you incense owls by night, by candlelight, by jewel light, if only you will stay. Pretty baby, won't you wake up? It's a Chelsea morning. That's my singing coach. Now the curtain opens. When the curtain closes, we did it, Mr. Phil Hall. Oh, and you're sitting with Rachel. Isn't that nice? Isn't she delightful? Yep. So where was I? John Updike once said that the true New Yorker secretly believes that people living anywhere else have to be, in some sense, kidding. And that is true. And a third rule of New York is that if your heart is full downtown, sooner or later, somewhere else downtown, your heart is going to be broken. Your heart soars in the West Village and it breaks in the East. Or is it the other way around? I'm walking in my head down on Avenue B as the echo of a guitar strums, tightening my overcoat and waiting for contentment like a bus that never comes. Crushing my hat over angry hair, I beg my pocket for a cigarette, but instead I find a nickel and a crumpled little napkin with a poem for a lover I need to forget. The wanting of you, it colors everything I do. It's in my house and in my bed, it's there in every tear I shed when I don't think I'll make it through. The wanting of you, it is my unsurrendered prayer. I trace your hands upon my skin, how did I dare to let you in? It's almost more than I can bear. The wanting of you. I patronize myself as I take my chair in the couldn't care less cafe. Accept the silent greeting of the mother with the baby and the model with the black Sharpay. There's an NYU kid who raises one lid, then goes right back to his 1,000-page book. And I spend another morning tracing stories in the oatmeal that some Spanish guy did not remember to cook. The wanting of you, it wakes me up at 2:30. With long gone shadows I converse, I think it can't get any worse, but how I know that isn't true. The wanting of you, it is a never-ending storm. I wear it everywhere I go, just like a coat that doesn't know that it's supposed to keep me warm. You knocking on my door, stumbling over words, laughing at my jokes, losing wallets. You never getting mad, sort of getting mad, never understanding everything. You song, nothing but a song. I step into the bath round 3:15. Let the water ease my wounded pride. I wash away my sorrow with the promise of tomorrow, but the water won't let me hide. The clock on the wall says, go ahead, stall. You're entitled to a way to cope. And I spend another, cope. Hang on. You're entitled with another way to cope. And I wonder if it isn't really loneliness that kills you. I think people really die of hope. Of hope. The wanting of you. It colors everything I do. It's in my house and in my bed. It's there in every tear I shed when I don't think I'll make it through. The wanting of you. It is my unsurrendered prayer. I trace your hands upon my skin. How did I dare to let you in? It's almost more than I can bear. I trace your hands upon my skin. How did I dare to let you in? It's almost more than I can bear. The wanting of you. People end up hardened in New York from all that heartbreak. Now, if you can't find happiness downtown, maybe you'll find it uptown in Stephen Sondheim's apartment. I mean house in Turtle Bay. Mr. Sondheim loves to write about all of us unsettled New Yorkers. Now this is the tale of a dame known as Harriet, who climbed to the top of the heap from the bottom. A beautiful life was her aim, and to vary it, she wanted the sun and the moon, and she got 'em. She isn't the least exhausted from her climb, but she does look back from time to time, and the subject of this evening's quiz is who she was and who she is. Ooh. Uptown, she's stepping out with a swell. Downtown, she's holding hands on the L. Hyphenated Harriet, the nouveau from New Rochelle. Uptown, she's got the Vanderbilt clans. Downtown, she's with the sidewalk Cezannes. Hyphenated Harriet, the nouveau from New Rochelle. She sits at the Ritz with her splits of mums and starts to pine for a stein with her village chums. But with a Schlitz in her mitts down in Fitzroy's bar, she thinks of the Ritz. Oh, it's so schizo. Uptown, it's Harry Winston she needs. Downtown, it's strictly zircons and beads. Ask her should she be uptown or down. She's two of the most miserable girls in town. Okay. She sits at the Ritz with her splits of mums and starts to pine for a stein with her village chums, but with the Schlitz in her mitts down in Fitzroy's bar. She thinks of the Ritz, oh, it's so schizo. Uptown, it's Harry Winston she needs. Downtown, it's strictly zircons and beads. Ask her, should she be uptown or down? She's two of the most miserable girls. She's two of the most miserable girls in town. New York, New York, or a village in Iowa. The only difference is the name. If you're alone, whether on Main Street or on Broadway, if you're alone, they are both the same. A town's a lonely town when you pass through, and there is no one waiting there for you. Then it's a lonely town. So I don't get too lonely up here singing. Would you please help me welcome my special, special, special guest, Max von Essen. Oh, the Cary Grant of Broadway.
Unless there's love, a love that's shining like a harbor bar.
Harbor love.
You're lost in the night.
Lost in the night.
Unless there's love, the world's an empty place.
An empty place.
And every time.
And every town's a lonely town.
And every time.
And every town's a lonely Oh my God! Of course, you know him from An American in Paris and Anastasia and Falsettos. But hello, my friend! What a start!
I'm so happy to be here. It
Exciting.
is such a beautiful.
my
You
God.
don't do a concert; you do an experience. It is just
Oh,
so
it's not
gorgeous.
a concert; it's
so
an
gorgeous.
experience.
Thank you for having me.
Oh my God, thank you so much. So what a crazy year. I mean, I have to say, you have made the most incredible use of just social media to share with us this crazy year in Hell's Kitchen for you.
Yeah, well, I had a lot of time. You know, I stayed here during the pandemic, I was all alone in Hell's Kitchen. I've been there forever. Yes, I stuck it out. But it was so, rather than talk about how difficult a time it was, I found it so beautiful too. Have you ever been able to walk down 9th Avenue, literally walk down with not a car,
Yeah.
or walk through Times Square and not see a person? Like, I would go for long walks in the early evening and take pictures. I have pictures of no one in Times Square.
Go and check it out.
But
It's
I mean, they're
unbelievable.
so beautiful, and the iPhone is great. I just use my iPhone. But so
I know.
they're dark and magical, and I just wanted to remember it.
I get you. I was home in the burbs doing a cooking show with my kids. But so you're also like me. You're a boy from Long Island,
Yes,
right? And you share this love of New York. Did you just take the train?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, you
I was
rode the
born
train.
in Queens. I grew up in Rockville Center. And I'd start seeing shows by middle school, and just like you.
So what exit is that on the Southern State? You're the Southern State, right?
I'm
on Long Island Expressway.
19, right? And you're at Baldwin. You're exit 20.
I'm exit 36, Manhasset. Manhasset,
What's your exit? What's your sign?
That's right. Well,
What's your
totally.
exit?
Yeah, Manhasset.
Scorpio and 19.
Did you know that Manhasset is an old Indian name for exit 36? Anyway, so you and I got to work together in the pandemic. We did this absolutely mad thing, this pandemic green screen musical together. And can I just clarify to everybody that Max and I have often played lovers, and I posted a bunch of our kissing and all this stuff. We were like, boyfriend and girlfriend in Finian's Rainbow and in concerts at so I'm always his lover. And then during the pandemic, he was my son-in-law. So I guess thanks to, at that moment, I graduated.
But I had no business playing the boy next door. No business
No, you
whatsoever.
did, and I was given my termination letter of my terminal ingenue status. You were
the
wonderful.
Times gave me my termination letter.
No, they didn't.
You shouldn't read reviews, but I read the Times. It said, and because it starts with a rave, Max and then there's Max von Essen in such heart-melting voice that you almost forget how age inappropriate he is for the role. I sent it to everyone. My agents, I was like, a rave!
Well, I'm so age inappropriate in the other way around. Just the show business sucks. So,
and it's incredible.
Do you know that funny but not funny story about the guy? He cleans up the elephant poop at the circus. You're just reminding me of this. He cleans up the elephant poop and he goes to his shrink and he says, it's a tough job. It's disgusting and I have to do this with shovel all day. Goes to his shrink and his shrink says, why don't you quit? And he says, what? And give up show business? Anyway, this is an aside. So tonight, aren't you happy tonight?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Back on stage?
I'm so happy. I know, to be together again and not be your mother-in-law or whatever. It's amazing to sing with you again.
I love it. The sound of applause is delicious.
Comden Green.
It's a thrill to have the world at your feet. The praise of a crowd is exciting, but I've learned that it's not what makes a life complete.
Me? There's one thing you can do for the rest of your days that's worth more than applause. The screaming crowd, the bouquets. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. Make just one heart the heart you sing to. One smile that cheers you. One face that lights when it nears you. Man, you're everything to.
Fame, if you win it, comes and goes in a minute. Where's the real stuff in life to cling to? Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found her, build your world around her. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy. And you just
for you
one,
to make someone happy.
Make just one heart the heart you sing.
Make one heart the heart you sing to.
One
Try to find the one
smile that cheers you. One
the
face that lights when it nears you. One girl, you're everything.
Gotta find the one you're everything to.
Fame,
Just remember, fame if you win it,
comes
it
and
goes in a minute.
Where's the real stuff in life to cling
Find the best in
to?
life to cling to.
Love is the answer. Someone to love is the answer. Once you found her, build your world around her. Make someone happy. Make just one someone happy, and you will be happy too. And you will be happy too. Yes, we
Max
should.
von Essen. Max von Essen. Get his CDs at the door. Amazing. Amazing. So a few more years go by, and I find myself marrying my amazing husband, Patrick McEnroe. 22 years. 22 years. And where else but in the heart of Central Park? And how else to celebrate than by dancing with Donald Sadler, the original choreographer from On Your Toes from when I was 12. Through many turns of the Rubik's Cube, he went from being my idol to being my mentor, to being a cherished friend who loved Patrick, and Patrick loved him too. And so we danced together, and this brings me to, Melissa's, still another of my rules for New York life. At your wedding, be sure to dance with a great choreographer. It makes for a better look. This is the song we dance to. Someday, when I'm awfully low, when the world was cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look tonight. Oh, but you're lovely, with your smile so warm and your cheeks so soft. There is nothing for me but to love you, just the way you look tonight. With each word, your tenderness grows, tearing my fear apart. And that laugh that wrinkles your nose touches my foolish heart. Lovely, never, never change. Keep that breathless charm. Won't you please tonight. Just the way you look there he is. Isn't it something? Don't we all miss him, huh? Tonight. Thank you. So I went looking for some New York quotes about marriage, and I want to get this right. And of course, I turned to Nora Ephron. Marriage isn't easy anywhere, but don't you think it's especially hard in New York? She goes on, the desire to get married is a basic and primal instinct in New York women. It's followed by another basic and primal instinct, the desire to be single again. To which Nora adds, I would never want to be married to a man I wouldn't be proud to be divorced from. But instead, we had kids. Just kidding. Now, I'd like to invite to the stage another guest to finish up this show, Caroline Moore. Would you please join me up here? Please welcome Caroline Moore. Where are you, Caroline? There you are. Caroline, I hope you've been enjoying the show. Have you? They've been a wonderful audience, right? I know I always say that, but I don't always mean it. Now, you know, the thing about New York is that the city will mirror whatever it is that you're feeling. If you are excited, then the next 100 people are excited. If you're down in the dumps, another 100 people are down in the dumps. And when I got pregnant, everyone was pregnant. So we did yoga. It was down in the Bowery, and a teacher went around the room, and we were all sitting on the floor, and the teacher went around the room and asked us when were our due dates, and people said April 18th, April 6th, April 19th, April 21st, maybe May 2nd, maybe March 31st, April 6th, April 1st. You get the idea. And a crowd turned into a community. And you have never seen such vigorous slowness as a group of New York women trying to slow down. But you know what? We pulled it off. That wasn't rehearsed. What I'll give you since you've asked is all my time together. Take the rugged sunny days, the warm and rocky weather. Take the roads that I have walked along, looking for tomorrow's time. Peace of mind as my life spills into yours, changing with the hours, filling up the world with time, turning time to flowers. I can show you all the songs that I never sang. We have seen 1,000,000 stones lying by the water. You have climbed the hills with me to the mountain shelter. Taken off the days one by one, setting them to breathe in the sun. Take the lilies and the lace from the days of childhood, all the willow wine and outward. This is what I give. This is what I ask you for. Nothing more. Nothing Okay, to finish off, I want to come back to Laura Nero, that perfect New Yorker who I admire so much and love so much. For 11 years, I raised my children in New York like she raised hers, and I call mine fairies. One day we went on a vacation. Do you remember those? Vacation. And we came into a hotel lobby, and my children came in, and they were spinning and whirling, and they were wearing skirts and sneakers and hand-me-downs, and they had wild hair. And this lady looked at them, and she looked at me, and she said, "Did they grow up on a farm?" I'm proud to say that they have raised themselves to be showgirls like their Aunt Rose. 2 of them come into New York 5 days a week to dance. And my eldest, my extraordinary eldest, who is here tonight, is no stranger to the tennis stage. And they all grew up feeling the lure of this beautiful city, especially her, actually. They want to live here, but we can't afford it. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but so many of my songs and inspirations tonight were by women, New York women writers like Laura Nero, Nora Ephron, Judy Collins, Joni Mitchell, Dorothy Parker, Dorothy Fields, and Marcy Heisler, who is here with us tonight. Women who found their voices here in New York. Now, this last song is by Laura Nero, and it tells the story of a mother, an exhausted mother, watching her child in a city playground. And I see that image, and I think that's actually New York, because that is New York. Yes, it is the big, bright billboard and Broadway dreams that bring us here, that brought me here on that train. But it is the small and specific city that keeps us here. The city of private games and intimate encounters. The duets we play. Ted Firth. The duets that we sing. Max, Caroline. The city of climbing children. The kind whose eyes go dancing to the edge of the playground. Tiny child, you were a miracle to me. A miracle, and you will always be. And now that I have such a lot, I'm so tired, and my miracle is not. What is life? Did you read about it in a magazine? Silent lies never give you what you need. Is there hope for a mother and an elf on speed? Kiss the sun, hello, child in the park, make your life a loving thing. I'm so tired and you're so wired, and I'm a poet without a poem, and you are my child. in a magazine, then why are we here crying by the washing machine? Let's run away, child, and follow a dream. Kiss the sun, hello, child in the park, make your life a loving thing. The park is late, the wind is strong, the trees have eyes, and you are my song, my lovely song. What is love? Yeah, I'm here to stand by you, and you will find your own way hard and true, and I'll find mine, 'cause I'm growing with you. Kiss the sun, hello, God and goddess, make your life a loving thing. And if I smile as you reach above the climbing bars to see the stars, you are my love. I wish you harmony. Thank you so much. So just imagine, thank you. That means thank you so much. I'm back. Just imagine I left and you were clapping and then I came back and I'm like, now I'm back. So because of all these rules and everything, I'm going to sweep out and I'm going to go up on this sidewalk. If you want to say hello to me, meet me up on this sidewalk. But let me quickly say thank you to the village that it took to create this story, this scripted, unscripted passion story. My vocal coach, Phil Hall, everybody here at 54. Oh, you worked so hard. Except for that one song, it went perfect. So I'll be working tomorrow. We worked so hard. KJ and Chris over there in the booth. The incomparable Ted Firth. Oh my God. And there were so many friends and advisors like Sarah Rebell, who was a dramaturge, who helped me with some of the history and some of the literature. And there's Adam Gopnik, who is kind of my core co-writer. So thank you, Adam. You bring my life to life. So thank you. I'd like to finish with one song, which I don't think needs any introduction. And I wish you all a beautiful evening. I will meet you outside. Oh, Caroline Moore, bless your heart. Isn't she the best thing ever? Absolutely can't wait to work with Caroline again and make many funky things happen. So yes, I'll sign anything. I'll sign your rear end. I'll sign anything upstairs. And thank you. I love doing this. I work hard to show you how much I love doing this. And it's just, it's everything to me. And working with Ted, you have no idea. Sometimes the solos and alone in this empty room, I'm just like, oh my God. So it's such a joy to prepare music. This is only 75 minutes of the hours and hours of joy we take in doing this for you. And so thank you so much for coming. Autumn in New York, Why does it seem so inviting? Autumn in New York, it spells the thrill of first nighting. Glittering crowds and shimmering clouds in canyons of steel, they're making me feel I'm home. It's autumn in New York that brings the promise of new love. Autumn in New York is often mingled with pain. Dreamers with empty hands may sigh for exotic lands. It's autumn in New York. It's good to live it. Do that again. I want to say that sentence again. It's good to live it.